Hello, Internet. This is Sharif Awad from Ontario International Film Festival. I'm very happy to welcome Cathal Nally, the writer-director of Be Good or Be Gone. Just finished screening like 30 minutes ago on the festival subdomain on eventive.org. Good morning, Cathal. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Hello, how you doing? Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's great. It's great to be part of the Ontario International Film Festival. Thank you for selecting our film. I was merely just the director and co-producer. There was two other gentlemen that wrote the script originally. That
Yes,
was Les
excellent.
Martin. Yeah, Les Martin and Paul Murphy were the writers of the
Yes,
script.
congratulations for the film. I noticed in your filmography that you had previous work in short filmmaking. Can you tell me a little bit about how did you get involved with Be Good or Be Gone?
Yeah, because there was a break, a good few years break between my last short and taking on this film, Be Good or Be Gone. I did several shorts. I think mostly between 2008 and 2013. Did about 10 projects, and they're all short projects. And for me, it was a learning experience. And then every time I would finish a short film, uh, people would approach me and say, "Oh, when are you going to do a feature?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know yet. Maybe I'll do another short." So it took a while before I took on a feature. Before I felt I had, built the skill set to take on a feature film. And it was actually Declan Mills who plays the character of Weed, in working with Les Martin. On possibly getting the film made, but they were looking for a director, and Declan reached out to me, and then that was like 5 years ago, and I read the script, and I just thought this is great. I love the material, I love the way it was wrote, I love the way the characters were written. It seemed very authentic, and I was very attracted to the project like straight away. So I met up with the guys to see what they were like, and took it from there, and then it just slowly developed into what it is now. Yeah.
Yeah, but while I was watching the film, I was wondering about two things. First, um, does any of the circumstances or story or characters has a certain factual, events, or it's complete fiction?
Oh no, it's complete fiction. I imagine because the writers, Paul Murphy and Les Martin, had wrote the script, and prior to the script reaching me, they tried to get the film made for several years, and they went to different producers, and every time they went to a different producer, that producer would have an influence on the script, and they would change the story, or they would want more different characters involved and all this kind of stuff. So by the time it reached me, it had gone through several different producers, several different rewrites. Um, I think there is it is quite an authentic script. So a lot of it is set with basically like working class characters living in Dublin, and I think Paul Murphy had a serious impact on that when he was writing the script. These would They would probably be loosely based on different characters he maybe had met or known or that kind of thing when he was a younger man, because
Yes.
he's well in his 60s now. So I'd say it's an amalgamation of things, but the
Mhm.
story itself is totally fictitious, and the characters, as they are in the film, are fictitious characters. Yeah.
Yes, we have the two actors, Les Martin and Declan Mills. They play Ste and Weed, correct? And
Yes.
and tell me, how did you start to cast them? How did you find them for the roles?
So Les had co-written the script already with Paul Murphy, so he basically cast himself in the lead role. This was his project, and he had actually cast Declan before they met me, because it was Declan that got me involved in the script. So generally, if I'm taking on a film, especially as a producer or a director, I would cast the film myself, or there's a procedure to that. But this was different. These guys are already the leads, and they were looking for a director. So I never worked with Declan, but I knew Declan for years. I known him. At the moment, I think I've known him about 19 years, but I never worked with him. And he was a very good theatre actor, and I'd seen him in some plays over the years, and I thought he was brilliant. But I never got to work with the guy. So once I knew he was cast in it as the second lead as Weed, I thought, okay, that's a good start. But I didn't know anything about Les. I'd never met Les before. So what I said to the guys was, I said, look, I love the script. I love the way it is. Let's go and workshop some of the scenes together. Before I decided to take on the film, I wanted to see if they could play the roles and if there was chemistry between them. And I got the guys to select 3 different scenes, and then we rented a hall, and I just shot some videos of the guys doing 3 different scenes, and there was natural chemistry between the two, between Les and Declan, like real proper chemistry. And I just knew straight away. I thought, yeah, I can definitely work with these guys. When it came to casting the rest of the film, after that, myself and Les sat down, and I had some actors that live in Dublin that I thought would be good at playing certain roles, and Les knew some actors as well that he thought would be good at playing certain roles, and we just brought in all the guys that we wanted, and we got them to read for parts, and we tested them and we just see which one was good for which role. Some of them we got to read for different roles, and it was just a process, and very good process. So we're happy with that. Les knows his stuff, and I have a particular style of how I cast things, and it just worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mountjoy Prison is a real life prison in Ireland.
It is, yes. So Mountjoy. So the film itself, we actually didn't use Mountjoy Prison. We used we said the guys went to Mountjoy, but we actually used a
Yes.
separate prison. I think that was Arbor Hill. So we used that, and we used the outside of that, and the interior with the build a set and everything. But yeah, Mountjoy is a real prison. It's in the north side of Dublin City.
Yes, but what I would like to ask about is it is normal for like two criminals, or they are convicted of a certain crime, to be let out few days and they come back like we saw in the film. This is okay according to the Irish law. Yeah.
Yeah,
What is the purpose? What is the purpose of this?
it's called temporary release. So TA, temporary, so TR, sorry, TR, or temporary release.
Yeah.
So the idea is to let prisoners out for a few days, to try and get them to kind of settle back into normal life, just to
Yes.
give them a taste of what it's like to be free again. But
Yeah.
it's done under strict kind of supervision to a degree. They have to report at a certain hour and all this kind of stuff. So, but
Yes.
generally it only happens for weekends. Like in the movie, they're out for 4 days. In reality, it's generally weekend release. Really, they get maybe 2 days or 3 days, that kind of thing.
Yes.
And that's what it's about. It's to encourage the prisoner. They only get it if they have good behavior in prison. If you know what I mean, they don't
Yes.
let really crazy criminals out. Like most of the people who get yeah, most of the people who get temporary release are prisoners that they're not convicted of really violent crimes or anything like that. They're convicted of misdemeanors or small level kind of crimes, and it's an idea of just encouraging them to get out. And what's the word I'm looking for? It escapes me anyway. But that's the idea. It's just to give them a
Yes.
taste of freedom, so that they waken up to themselves.
Yes, but really, right now, in Ireland, is there like still exists a kind of organized crimes or any kind of crimes family, like we see in in classic Irish films, or generally in European films, like that still exists, this kind of
There
families
is,
related to
yeah,
crimes.
there is. There. I don't want to mention any names, but there are a couple of big crime families that are organized crime, that run organized crime to a certain degree in Ireland, and it's they're actually at war with one another on and off. So it's like
Yes.
those old newspaper reels that you see from the 1930s in the United States, where different mafia bosses are shooting each other and stuff. It still happens here in Ireland, and it's now gone global because some of them own businesses in Spain, and some of them own businesses in the Mediterranean and all that kind of stuff, and they're involved in. They're kind of gone international at this point. So it's not just they're not. It's not localized crime. They've actually expanded their business operations. But our
Mm.
film doesn't focus on anything like that. These guys are just small time criminals. I think at the end of the day, really, they're just a couple of guys that made the wrong decisions when they were younger, and they're been punished for it now. But they're not really evil. They're not bad guys as such, but at the same time, they're not really good either. you know.
Yes, but right now, was it easy to find financing for the film while you are in the prep period?
But that was done over time because initially we were hoping to get some kind of funding involved in the film, but it wasn't there. In Ireland, you have Screen Ireland, which is the main kind of state funding body. Um, but they didn't support the project initially, and actually they haven't supported the project at all at this point.
Mhm.
We've been in talks with them over years and years and years, and they keep giving you advice. Oh, this is great. We like this. We like that. But when it comes down to it, they don't actually give you any money. So we
Mhm.
did it ourselves, and it was actually Les had put a lot of his own money into the film, and then I put a lot of my money into the film. And then afterwards, we had to raise funding online to finish the post production and all that for the project. So we did that online at the end, and it's still costing us money, obviously, but it's a labor of love, and that's why it's taken us so long to get the film. I mean, if we had all our financing in place from the start, we could have had the project done in 2 years. But as it is, it's taken us just around 4.5 years or so to get the whole thing. Well, about 4 years to get the whole thing finished, and now we're
Mhm.
going through the festival circuit this year. So yeah,
Yeah.
so it took us twice the time, really.
Uh, right now, what are the most successful festival you screen to, and after Ontario, will you screen later on during the rest of
Um,
the year?
we have to see, and we have one other festival coming up next month. We started in March. The premiere was at the Garden State Festival in New Jersey,
Mhm.
and we won the Best International Feature Film Award at that, and they had a few other awards as well. We won Best Supporting Actress for it as well, and we were nominated for Best Actor for Declan. He didn't get it, and there was a Best Cast Ensemble nomination as well, which was nice. And then we won Best Feature as well at the 12th Dublin Underground Film Festival here in Ireland. That was back in September. And the next festival we're at is Sherman Oaks, which is next month. That's in Los Angeles, and that's in mid-November. And
Yeah.
after that, I don't know. We're still waiting to hear back from other festivals.
Mhm.
Um, but with COVID and everything, there were some festivals that had to shut down completely. So another ones are all going online. And we did have a festival up in Northern Ireland, the Disappear Here Film Festival, which is a lovely little festival. We were accepted to that, but that was cancelled unfortunately. So because they were going to go as a live event with restricted numbers, but that county was put under lockdown, so they had to cancel their festival. Well, they've cancelled it,
Uh,
but they want to postpone it. They're not sure when they're going to do it. They might do it when the country opens up again, or they might go online. They're not sure. So
Yes.
other than Sherman Oaks, which is next month, I don't know when the next one is. Not yet, anyway.
Good. But right now, are you preparing another project right now?
I am. I was writing a lot during lockdown because there was nothing much else to do, and we've actually here in Ireland we've just been put back into lockdown again now. So the country will be back in lockdown from Wednesday. So that gives me a lot more free time to write, because I won't be able to leave the houses that much anymore from Wednesday. So
Mm.
I can hopefully finish my script and I can get started into that film soon.
Yeah.
Um, but I think obviously if it ever gets to a production level, it's a good while off.
Yes. Excellent. Cathal Nally, director of Be Good or Be Gone. Thank you very much for joining us. It's 1:15 right now, early morning after midnight in Dublin. But best wishes for your upcoming projects, and I hope I wish all the best for your film, in the upcoming months around the world and other festivals. And let us hope we can have your films in our upcoming edition as well.
Thank you very much, Sheriff. Thank you very much. That was lovely.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Good night. Take care. Bye
Good
bye
night.
bye.